And joining us now to talk more TST is one of the co-owners of the tournament, of course, NBA legend Chris Paul, known for his hoops fame, but with us now for his soccer passion. Chris, great to have you with us here on Football Americas. Let's start at the beginning, man. How did you get connected to TST? Because you've been around this from day one, right?
Absolutely. Man, TST is one of the best things that ever happened, to tell you. Obviously, it started with TBT and John Muger, who is an unbelievable mind. You know what I mean? He probably should be the one on here talking about it, but he is just an amazing guy, and the way that his mind works, and he's just a sports fanatic like myself. And, you know, going from the TBT and now doing the TST has been nothing like it.
You were at the event last year, so for those of us that watch it on TV, man, it looked like a lot of fun. Some of the emotions came through the screen, but you witnessed it live. What was it like down there in the Carolinas?
The energy was crazy. I'm born and raised in North Carolina, so to be kind of home was cool, but to see the competition, right? Obviously, it was year one. You just never know what to expect, but to see the competition, as you can see, I was there with Ocho Cinco, Steve Nash, who was a legend in NBA. It's one of those sports and one of those events that just connects everyone, and anyone who's been to a match or whatnot. It's just like how the NBA is so great because you have those courtside seats. Sometimes you go to these soccer matches and you're so far away. Here, you're so close to the action, and it's pretty exciting.
Chris, how much soccer you got in your life? Because I've been reading up a little bit. It sounds like, you know, you're watching some games with your sons during the World Cup. Your daughter, I believe, is a player. So it sounds like it's all around the Paul house.
My daughter is a player. My son was nice, but he stopped playing. But I think for me, growing up, you know, honestly, I was never really introduced to soccer like that. Being in North Carolina, you know, a lot of times you're into what your parents are into. My dad was into football and basketball. And so it's been so cool for me as a parent, right, to see my kids out there playing something that I never had an opportunity to play. I had an opportunity there. You see, I took my son to Spain. Took him over to see FC Barcelona. It was so memorable. I'll never forget it. You know, being with those guys and seeing how enthused my son was. But it's a fun sport, and that's why this TST has just been amazing.
It is fun, man, but I got to give you, Chris, some shtick here. You know, you look at the teams that are in this tournament this year. We got a lot of NFL representation. We don't got really too many guys from the NBA. What gives, man? We can't do some recruiting or what?
We're working on it. You know, a lot of guys, you know, I know a number of guys. One of my teammates, Jonathan Kuminga, you know, we're still building this event. And I think the coolest thing about it is, and I don't know what you got going on, but I'm sending you an invite to come to the event, because it's one thing to see it on television, but when you're there and you get a chance to sit in the cabanas or whatnot and just see the energy, because we have all these different fields going on, right? So this game starts at maybe 2:15, but this game over here started 2:45. So there's games starting and ending. And the fact that you have to end the game with the scored goal makes it that much more exciting.
Chris, man, give me some names out of the NBA. You know, in a future where you got to put a team together, think of some guys that are in the league that you say, all right, I could make a 7-on-7 team out of this for TST.
I'm going to tell you, the first person I'm going to get is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder. So I'll
German
tell you
background,
this.
Yep.
Yeah, look at you. You know him. Look at you. Look. So I'll tell you, so before we went to the NBA bubble, our team was getting together, playing basketball, playing pickup. So one day, just to mix it up, we went to a high school football stadium, and we, instead of playing like just American football, you know, we play European football too. So we played both. And to see Dennis on that soccer field was crazy. So definitely Schroeder. I definitely have to get Jonathan Kuminga. Embiid, Joel Embiid. I definitely get Embiid.
With Embiid as your goalie, nobody's scoring on you, man.
Exactly. So you'd be surprised how many guys, you know what I mean, if you see Steph before the game, you know what I mean, guys just trying to juggle or whatnot. So it's a lot of guys who love the sport.
All right. Maybe get some of the more European guys there as well. They've obviously got a background, guys like Luka Doncic. So lots of dudes in the NBA for a future TST.
Gallinari. Oh, man, Gallinari. Gallinari is nice. I definitely get Gallinari. I get Shea. too.
All right.
Shea Gilgeous.
Forget 7-on-7. We might have to work out an 11-on-11 tournament with all these all these names. Hey, CP, one more thing for you before we let you go. Obviously, one of the big new additions to the tournament this year is the women's tournament. 8 teams battling it out for $1 million. I know you were big in the push for that. Why was that so important to you?
Man, it was so important because last year, if you got a chance to see it, we had the women's national team in the tournament. And it was so exciting to see all of the fans and the people who came out to see these women. Listen, they fearless. You hear me? You should have seen, you see the goalie, you see her right there. I went up to her after one of the games and just said, "With the way that ball is coming in at you and you saving them left and right, it was nothing like it." But having the women have their own tournament, I think was big. But not only that, but the equal pay. You know, as we've seen, women's sports it's been here, but people are now starting to pay attention to how skilled and how good they are. So I'm just excited to see, you know, it's going to be $2 million winners and they got to end on a made goal.
They say put your money where your mouth is. CP3 and TST doing just that with the women's tournament. Chris Paul, man, great to have you with us here on Fútbol Americas, and we look forward to seeing you this summer at TST.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.